$1,000,000 when it's done. The private booth was dim. The man's face flickered in and out of shadow. I couldn't make out his features, but one listen to that voice told me he was bad news. Is that a monthly salary or a yearly salary? The guys sprawled on the side sofas burst out laughing, clutching their stomachs. The man in the center, black suit, cigarette frozen halfway to his lips, went even colder behind the veil of white smoke. What exactly did you come here for? Oh, I'm here to apply for the professional organizer gig. 2 days a weekend. 4 weekends a month. 8 days total. 96 days a year. 800 a day comes to 76,800. The man in the center just stared, watching his unreadable expression. My heart pounded. Did I ask for too much? Everyone out. The order was flat, almost bored. The others cracked a few last jokes, but they scrambled off the leather all the same. Later, Hunter, have fun, bro. A guy with a frosted wolf cut winked and flashed a peace sign. Hunter lifted his gaze and delivered the temperature of dry ice. Tell security Little's allowance is cut in half next month. Wolfcut instantly clutched his head. Bro, my bad. I'm gone. Out. The herd stampeded. Suddenly the cavernous room held only the iceberg of a man and broke college me. My heart shot into my throat. What is this? A scam. Should I bolt right now? Too many me's duped it out in my skull. Dark side 1. I edged my left foot back, ready to ghost. What's your name? The question rang out, ice cold in the empty booth. Emmy. Hey, fortune favors the bold. Right. I swallowed. Skye. My secretary didn't tell you. I brought you here for the surrogate deal. My head snapped up, Bambi eyes wide, every hair on my body at attention. That's illegal. So, he braced both arms along the sofa back, exhaled a lazy smoke ring, couldn't care less written all over him. This guy fears nothing. I thought, I'm dead broke. But day labor beats prison. Sorry, sir, I can't do that. You'll have to find someone else. I bowed, spun to leave. You think my club is a classroom? Come and go as you please. You have any idea who I am? Hunter's voice was a steel spike. I flinched. Sir, I just graduated. Maybe I got cocky. My resume's polished. But it's all true. I didn't know the job was this. I won't break the law. My tone was firm, basically a glove slap to his face. Hunter exhaled slowly, stubbed the cigarette in a crystal tray, swung his long legs onto the marble table, and leaned back, eyes shut like he dozed off. The air pressure dropped to 0. I pictured myself cranking open a window and screaming for help, then remembered the elevator button I'd pressed, the 82nd floor penthouse. Yeah. No. Click, the door opened. A buzzcut guy inked from wrist to shoulder stepped in. Say that again. Louder. Hunter flicked an ear. Eyes slits. Buzzcut stared me down. My heart jackhammered. One punch from either of them and I'd be a smear on the carpet. I gulped. Screw pride. Sir, I know you're in a hurry, but maybe chill for a sec. I was just joking. Tiny joke. A big shot like you wouldn't hold that against me. Right. The thing you mentioned. Totally doable. $1,000,000 is a bargain. Live to fight another day. Skye. Hunter watched every micro flinch, smirked, and flicked 2 fingers. Buzzcut nodded and ghosted out, shutting the door soft as silk. Slap, a stack of paper landed on the table. The ironclad contract. I blinked. I came for a part-time gig and now I'm getting locked into a baby claws. Seriously. I laughed thinly. Hunter, you don't really need paperwork for something so small, right? Suit yourself. When the money never hits your account, don't come crying to me. My face drained. No way I'd let him own every card. Worst case, we both burn. I scribbled my name, hand twitching like I had Parkinson's. Hunter's lips curled. Come here. Huh. My brain vetoed. My feet voted yes. After Buzzcut's masterclass in menace, playing nice felt safer. The 15 feet from door to sofa became a catwalk. Of course, my brand new 7-centimeter heels, interview armor, chose that moment to betray me. I rolled an ankle and crash landed in Hunter's lap. Me, Hunter, didn't peg you for the aggressive type. Sorry. Totally an accident. Before I could finish, strong hands circled my waist, sliding upward. My assets don't get grabbed unless I allow it, he murmured, voice husky. I squirmed. The grip turned to titanium. Let go. Please. Why rush? We knock this out. Granddad gets his heir. You pocket the cash. Win-win. I started shaking. Think. Skye. Think. Wait. At least let me shower first. We're strangers. This is warp speed. Can we? I dunno. Talk? I prefer pillow talk. He watched me shiver like a bunny and seemed to enjoy it. My body suddenly levitated. Ah. He scooped me up, strode to the sofa, and tossed me down. Stay back. I'll scream. Really? You're a public figure. I'll tank your reputation. End up a villain. Villain. Cool. Bad press still spells my name right. Unbelievable. Thicker than bank vault walls. Priority, escape. Now. Hunter, hold up. Hear me out. He parked himself. Lit another cigarette. Talk. That single syllable carried death row weight. I slid to the farthest cushion. Okay. Genius plan coming up. There's a boutique clinic that arranges surrogate deals. Tiny place. Full service. We could source the best option. Take our time. College grad. Yet you know the back alleys. Color me intrigued. I tucked hair behind my ear. Job hunting turns up all kinds of intel. I congratulated myself on the improvisation, missed the predatory glint sharpening in his eyes. He flicked ash, crushed the cigarette, and stood. Great. Let's start with you. I rocketed off the sofa. Didn't make it 3 steps before a vice locked around my arm. I sucked in air to scream, knock knock knock. Hunter dropped me. Irritation storming his face. I braced for him to obliterate his assistant, except the doorway framed a woman. Mom, what are you doing here? Mom, my soul left my body. Rich dynasties loathe random girls on the premises. When he's done using me, mommy dearest will bury what's left. While they squared off, I ninja crawled to the restroom and locked the door. Heels clacked like artillery outside. I counted my blessings until dialogue leaked through the panel. Hunter, how long will you keep this up? Dad and I are trying to help. Kiwoo's daughter lands the day after tomorrow. You will meet her. End of discussion. Sure. Buy her a return ticket while you're at it. Problem solved. You, Hunter. I snorted. Footsteps zeroed in. Uh-oh. Click. The bathroom doorknob twisted, and suddenly I was eye to eye with the woman Hunter had just called Mom. She stood framed in the doorway in a custom-tailored, lipstick red cheapo, sleek, understated. Her makeup so delicate she looked barely 30-something. Those sharp, upswept eyes raked me from head to toe like I was trash set out on the curb. I decided to strike first. Hey, small world. Right. Fate. Pure fate. My toes were practically excavating a 3-bedroom condo inside my sneakers, while Hunter lounged nearby, lips curling in obvious amusement. Stop laughing, jackass. This is your fault. Out. Now. The woman's voice cracked like a whip. Every hair in her tight chignon quivered. And ridiculously, so did mine. The 3 of us resettled in the cavernous private dining room. You could hear her breathing, sharp and fast. Who are you? She pinned me with a stare that said, call yourself his woman and I'll have you dragged outside and shot. Good thing I'm not stupid. I'd swallow my tongue before I said that line aloud. She's my woman. I hadn't even finished when Hunter, lunatic that he was, delivered my death sentence. My eyes bulged at him. Stop. Big brother. Want me to keel over right here? Predictably, the woman's face darkened. I don't care who you are. Leave my son this instant, or suffer the consequences. Lady, I'd love to bolt, but your precious boy won't let me. I almost rolled my eyes to the ceiling. I'm marrying her. Me. Hunter never opened his mouth unless it was to detonate a bomb. Newsflash, my life matters too. I wanted to evaporate on the spot, looking at that entitled air smirk. I itched to punch his perfect teeth in. Whoosh, she shot up from the leather sofa and glared at me. You will regret this. Seriously. Apple tree, your kid pulls the stunt. You snarl at me. How is that fair? Silence dropped again. I opened my mouth, only to be cut off by a ringtone. Hunter pulled out his phone, gave a curt and hung up. Taking you somewhere. I was still digesting the open threat when he yanked me to my feet, hauled me down to the underground garage, and stuffed me into the Aston without ceremony. The car screamed through Riverdale's night and screeched to a halt outside a hulking building. Ugh. I tumbled out, stomach heaving, and vomited squarely on Hunter as he opened the door. I straightened just in time to watch his complexion travel from paper white to thunder black. In his eyes, I read 2 crystal clear words. I'm innocent. Sorry. I get carsick. Best not add, because you drive like a getaway driver. If I did, he'd spontaneously combust. Clothes, he said. Gaze locked on me. My mind drew a blank. They're drenched. You planning to strip me yourself? 37-degree body. Sub-zero tone. Oh, okay. I fumbled with the ink blue bespoke buttons. The sight of my own handiwork almost made me laugh. Instant karma. Dude. Feeling his stare on the top of my head, I erased the smirk before collateral damage occurred. Years later, Hunter told me he'd wanted to kiss me right then. I didn't know that as I worked the last button free. The view almost gave me a nosebleed. Broad chest, textbook six-pack, shark muscle cuts, veins disappearing under his waistband. My imagination sprinted into the red zone. I shook myself. Might as well have horny and reckless tattooed on my forehead. Enjoying the scenery. Want a test drive? I jerked back. Our faces were inches apart. In his pupils, I saw a miniature me, eyes wide as a deer's. I spun away, tossed the ruined shirt into a trash can on the curb, and said over my shoulder, Hunter, show some respect. Oh, then why is your face neon? Why I voice it. Awkward was already sky high. Jerk. Just a normal physiological response, totally natural. Turn around. He switched gears. Why? Hello? You undressed me. You expect me to walk in there shirtless? Well, what now? Not like I volunteered. You ordered. Remember. And if you hadn't hot rod, wait in the car. I'll change upstairs. Change. I finally looked around. A 4-story standalone mansion. Architectural balance on steroids. Hold up. Why am I critiquing design? Split now or never. Twilight had fallen. I launched into an 800-meter dash, flagging a cab at the gates. Riverdale, I gasped. The taxi merged into traffic. The whole episode felt surreal. Cinderella after the clock struck 12. I sneaked back on campus, packed the last of my stuff, and decided to bail. My hometown had a job waiting. No point staying. As for Hunter, men like him forget girls like me before breakfast. And I'd never break the law. I bought a morning train ticket, showered, and crashed. Ring ring. A cell phone shrilled through my dreams. Whose phone? Shut that thing off. The screen showed an unknown number. I padded into the hall. Hello, is this Skye? Yes. Who's calling? Attorney. Hunter's counsel. You've defaulted on the ironclad contract. He says if you don't appear within 3 days, we'll file suit. What? I was bolt upright. Synapses screaming. Wait. Panic scrambled my brain. Words tangled. The line stayed quiet. Calm. Expectant. No way was I crawling back. But that contract bore my real signature. A lawsuit would nuke my future and bury me in damages. I must have insulted him by vanishing. Maybe an apology erases the bullseye. Guys like Hunter can get any woman. Why chain himself to me? Attorney. Please tell Hunter I'd like a private meeting tomorrow. I'll relay the message. Skye. The call ended. My legs turned to noodles. That contract had felt like a joke. Now it was a landmine. A brilliant plan popped up. Steal the contract. Destroy it. No paper. No proof. Case closed. Certified genius. That's me. I blueprint my escape down to the last hallway corner, then curled up and slept. Next afternoon, using the address Blake gave me, I showed up, only to find Hunter, not the lawyer. Hunter, so you still remember me? His aura pinned me to standing while he lounged opposite. Sit. I'm not a prof. No detention. Then, eyes narrowing, though I could assign extra credit. I flushed crimson and glared. Keep staring and parts of me will stand at attention too. Crude. Cigarette between long fingers. He reclined against the leather sofa, jawline hazy in white smoke. Could we talk? Seriously? Floor's yours. I'm broke. Yes, but I won't sell my body. Women swarm you. I'm expendable. And we don't share some grand romance. I'd laid it bare. Surely a man of his stature wouldn't condone coercion. He flicked a lighter, torched another cigarette, tossed the chrome slab onto the table. Clang. But what if you're the only one I want? Flat statement, yet my blood ran cold. Why me? My voice shook. No reason. That's insane. I shot to my feet. 300 million in damages. By the way, did you know? Didn't read the fine print? In 22 years I'd never seen, heck, heard, that many zeros. So here's the deal, he said. Give me a child. After that, stay or leave, your call. Are you kidding? Babies aren't handbags. They're the fruit of love. Ever heard of it? I gaped, mind screaming. Someone save me from this lunatic. My brain felt like a battlefield. Every thought a spear I hurled at Hunter until he was nothing but bloody shreds. I lowered myself slowly into the chair and stared at him. You've got to be kidding me. You think I've got nothing better to do? A ringtone sliced the silence. Hunter answered, stood, and headed for the door. He tossed over his shoulder, anything else. Call my lawyer. I stayed in my seat, watching sunshine flicker through green leaves. The world suddenly unreal. My mind blank. I drifted back to the dorm like a ghost. My roommate said someone was waiting downstairs. My stomach lurched. Had Hunter followed me? Absurd. One snap of his fingers and I'd come running. Why would he bother tailing me? I dropped my bag and went down. The guy waiting by the entrance was instantly recognizable. Skye. You finally agreed to see me. In his white tee and blue jeans. He lit up the second he spotted me. I told you. We're done, I said. The bright flare on his face dimmed to ashes. I don't accept it. You don't accept it. Your mom marched onto campus and humiliated me in front of half the student body. What more do you want? You need to destroy me before you're happy? Just listen, Skye. I told my parents either they let us stay together or I move out and cut them off for good. Are you insane? What is this? Middle school. Run away from home and problem solved. It's over. Besides, I already have a boyfriend. And it's not you. What? Since when? Why didn't I know? Why should you? We're broken up. Of course I should know. I never agreed to break up. I spun around and stalked back inside. Chase grabbed for my hand. I flung him off and disappeared into the stairwell. Next morning I was up early to brush my teeth. Girls in the hallway sized me up, then whispered behind their hands. Weirdos? I'd never seen them before. Day 1 of Hunter's deadline. I wouldn't surrender until the final second. Back in my bunk, I opened Twitter. The more I scrolled, the paler I got. Someone had posted on campus a crystal clear shot of a top trim Aston. I was stepping out of the passenger seat. The driver's face was hidden, only that razor-sharp jawline visible. Me and Hunter. The comment section was a stampede. Holy hell, a loaded Aston. I just saw a unicorn. Same, bro. Only one in all of Riverdale. Me, sweet baby Jesus. That jawline is sharper than my 5-year plan. Hot face. Check. But did you see his hands? I wanna watch him blow his nose with those fingers. Me, blow his nose. Down. Girl, I wanna see those hands wrap the steering wheel. Stop. I've already bled out from the nosebleed. Me, who's the chick climbing out? She looks familiar. Yeah. Kinda. Pretty girls all share the same vibe, I guess. Big Shot's girl isn't for us mortals to ID. Hold up. I swear I know exactly who she is. My heart jackhammered. If they tagged me, the storm would be instant. I played deaf and blind, grateful for the sunglasses. If my roommates asked, I'd deny until the end. Nothing had actually happened with Hunter, but the rumor mill doesn't care about facts. I hid in my room, ordered every meal, masked and hooded when I cracked the door to grab the bags. My roommates thought I'd lost it. Budget suddenly living on takeout. I blamed job search stress and cafeteria crowds. I survived until day 2, but the post didn't cool. It combusted. I spent 10 of every 24 hours refreshing threads. And still the inevitable struck. Top comment. Pinned. Girl is Skye. School of Foreign Languages. Riverdale. I let the phone fall to the blanket. Downstairs. Whispers crawled through the walls. Girls from the next suite knocked to ask if that was really me. Comments kept breeding. Uglier every second. Shame on our school. Quiet in class. Prowling for sugar daddies after dark. Frigid ice queen act. Guess she's molten underneath. Our department's reputation is trashed. If you're gonna be kept, at least be discreet. Packed and masked. I dragged my suitcase off campus. Any minute now someone would dox my address. I couldn't stay. Outside the gate, the city felt endless and hostile. I hailed a cab to the far side of Riverdale and checked into the first cheap motel. Once inside I didn't leave. A full day and night crawled by until a knock rattled the door. I clutched the quilt, shaking, terrified it was Hunter. Terrified it wasn't. Anyone could kick me into the abyss now. I forced myself up, fingers brushing the handle. Who is it? Housekeeping. Need anything? Ma'am? The tension snapped. No, thank you. Guess 24 hours with the Do Not Disturb sign spooked them. My alarm chimed. Showtime. I painted on war paint. If I was going down, I'd go down groomed. I waited in the same cafe, watching sparrows flit outside the glass while I sat in my cage. Footsteps, familiar, hated. My knuckles blanched around the cup. Hunter made it to the final hour, impressive stamina. He wore black wool and mirror-shine Oxfords. Hair thick and dark as the man himself. Every inch a wall of thorns. I'll take that as a compliment, I said. Straight talk. If this is a rich boy game, leave me out. I'm broke. Powerless. Not your pawn. If it's personal, hard pass. Because I don't love you. His right thumb rubbed the watch on his left wrist. Mouth curling. Whose game doesn't matter. I write the rules. You don't get to refuse. Only to play. We stared. A waiter approached. I lifted my latte and poured it over Hunter's head. He laughed through the dripping foam. That all you've got? I trembled like I was naked in a blizzard. The waiter offered napkins. Hunter waved him off. You spill it. You mop it. The waiter looked at me. My hands shook so hard I had to sit before I collapsed. Hunter flicked his fingers. The waiter vanished. Rough week. Huh. Campus thinks you're my mistress. 2 icy words. And I was at the bottom of a well. He'd been watching the whole time. Who the hell are you to hijack my life? I exploded. Face contorted. He only smiled and walked out. After he left I sobbed until the lights blurred. When I looked up, attorney sat across from me. Skye. Here's the address and keys to your new place. Try to take care of yourself. I sat until the staff stacked chairs. Outside, the taxi carried me back to the same tree-lined driveway I'd fled weeks ago, where I'd puked on Hunter and done a runner. Fate, apparently, had a sense of humor. The Whitehaven loomed, a 3-tiered mansion wrapped around a colossal oak. Inside, white marble, crystal chandeliers, furniture bleached like bones. I was too numb to care. I flopped on the sofa, 22 and drowning in debt. Anne muttered, think you're a god. Hunter, doesn't matter how rich you are, laws still exist. fist. Skye, will never bow to your mafia crap. I punched the air, imagining him tied to the coffee table, helpless under my heel. When the fantasy left me winded, dusk had fallen and my stomach was snarling. Kitchen, ranked rows of Evian, was the man part fish. One lonely box of spaghetti. I boiled it, ate, and camped on the couch, wide-eyed while the clock dragged toward midnight. The instant the hands kissed 12, the front lock clicked. I bolted upright. Hunter crossed the foyer, each step a drumbeat on my ribs. Waiting up for me? His tone was flat, neither warm nor cold. Why me? I can't afford your steaks. He settled on the couch, tapped a cigarette free, and lit it. Behind the smoke his eyes were slits. I'm the house. You don't need to know the game, only to deal the cards. Clear? You're extorting me. So what? So what? Unbelievable. Jerk. Third floor. Second door on the right. Your room. I'll give you a little time. Not much. He rose and headed for the master suite upstairs. I stayed frozen, expecting something. Instead, he left me intact. One terrified night down. Next morning I waited until the Aston's growl faded before I crept downstairs. 9 a.m. The air actually worked for a living. Imagine that. I spent the whole night wide awake, tossing and turning in bed, thinking of one thing only. How on earth could I get out of this for good? And I actually came up with a plan. First I'd win his trust. Then I'd get my hands on the original copy of the ironclad contract and destroy it. At 10 p.m., I heard the front gate of the Whitehaven click open. Hunter was back way earlier than I'd expected. I stood at the top of the third-floor staircase, spying on him. Get down here. His deep bark almost scared the soul out of me. I nearly tumbled down the stairs. I crept down to the living room and saw that Hunter had clearly been drinking. A quick glance told me his face hadn't flushed much. He lounged on the couch giving off lazy, dangerous energy. Sit. What's your thing? Detention. He narrowed his eyes, amusement flickering in them. I parked myself on the couch, grabbed the water on the table to hide my nerves, and took a sip. What did you want to see me about? The words shot out. The instant they did I wanted to bite my tongue. Why else would he summon me? What do you think? Maybe the collar felt tight. Hunter reached up and freed the top 2 buttons of his shirt. The veins on his forearms and hands raised as he turned his wrist. I don't know. I swallowed. I had to admit, that face plus the move he just pulled could drop an entire sorority. Bring me a glass of water. He spread both arms across the back of the couch. Who do you think you are? Some air. I cursed him in my head 1,000 times. But my body obeyed. I got up and headed for the kitchen. I didn't notice that the man on the sofa had risen the moment I left. The tap was still running when a terrifying force clamped around my waist. Ah! I screamed. Too loud. Shh! He spun me around and pinned me against the counter. What are you doing? I fought like crazy, tried to kick him, but every ounce of strength I had felt like a kitten swatting yarn. What am I doing? You'll know soon enough. His palms caged my shoulders. His legs locked mine in place. I couldn't move an inch. No way to fight hard right now. Mr. Hunter, listen. I rattled off. I saw a fortune teller today. No blood can be spilled tonight, or my family and friends will lose all their money. Businessmen are superstitious. Hunter had to have an Achilles heel. Sure enough, he asked, blood. What blood? Hook, line, sinker. Well, I'm a virgin. Cute. Lying to my face now. Looks like I spoil you too much. What lie? I'm the real deal. Hunter, you can eat junk, but don't talk it. It's the truth. Why would I lie? Let me check how true. He pinched my chin, tilted my face up, voice gravel rough. Damn you, true. True as gold. How many times do I have to say it? If you're fooling me, you'll beg for death before I'm done. You, MMPH. I was fishing for a stalling tactic, but he kissed me. The second I opened my mouth his tongue slipped in. A jolt of electricity zipped through me. Fireworks detonated in my skull. Counter behind me. Hunter in front. Nowhere to run. My legs turned to jelly. The room spun. Just as I started to collapse, he scooped an arm under my waist, slid the other under my butt, and lifted me. His heat burned through the fabric like I was catching fire. Let me go. My voice was a thread. Every ounce of strength had been siphoned away. He carried me. The world tilted, and suddenly I was airborne, then landing on the couch. Ouch. The sharp pain snapped me partway back to reality, and I struggled to sit up. One foot had just touched the floor when a burning hand closed around my ankle and dragged me back. He leaned over me, so tall the ceiling disappeared. Cooperate nicely, and if I'm in a good mood I might let you go early. He smirked, and lowered his mouth to mine. One reckless night, a breeze fluttered the white gauze curtains. Ah! I shifted a leg under the duvet, and pain stole my breath. My whole body felt steamrolled. I managed to sit up. One look down and I yelped. Not a single patch of skin was unmarked. My fair complexion bruises if you breathe on it. Purple splotches marched across my chest, arms and thighs while I cursed Hunter into next week. Golden sunset pooled on the floor, Beautiful. Gorgeous. The word came out a croak. So thirsty. I threw the covers back, glanced at the sheet and my eyes bulged. Tiny flecks of blood dotted the linen. I scrambled out of bed, legs buckling, and crashed to my knees. You're awake. The familiar voice floated over. Hunter stood behind me. Out. I hugged myself and shrank into the corner. He walked over, draped his shirt around me, and said softly, eat something. When you're ready, I'll put ointment on you. After that, we'll go get the marriage license. My brain blue screened. Ointment? Who do you think you are? A doctor. License. What license? He scooped me up and carried me to the bed in the guest room, fetched a glass of water, cradled me with one arm and fed me sips. When I'd had enough, I pushed the glass away. He set it down and laid me back. What now? I tensed, bracing for fresh beast behavior. I got carried away last night and hurt you. Lie still. I'm putting on salve. He reached for the quilt. Wait. He was a different man, voice so gentle it raised goosebumps I didn't sign up for. I'll do it myself. He didn't argue, simply tended to me with feather-light hands. Eat what's on the tray. If nothing suits you, the housekeeper's on call, just buzz her. I'll be back tonight. Housekeeper? Right. More like warden. I sneered inwardly. He left without another word. My phone had been off all day. I powered it up to check campus and froze. Twitter number 1, loving you is the most romantic thing I've ever done. Twitter number 2. Asterisk Riverdale's billionaire heir to wed soon. Asterisk Twitter number 3. Asterisk real life, tycoon falls for common girl. Asterisk heart hammering. I opened the top entry. There was the photo of Hunter and me. I read every syrupy word. Signature, Hunter. The comments exploded. OMG, loving her is what I'll do for the rest of my life. Who understands the value of this sentence? Riverdale's number 1 heir, that impossibly hot billionaire. How did the heroine step in dog? Asterisk T'd this lucky? Where do I line up with my love number ticket? Take that ticket and march out of the chat. Thanks. Why are all the good men hoarded off the market? I exited Twitter, flung the phone on the bed, still unable to believe any of it. What the hell is that bastard planning? Marriage. Who said I'd marry him? I snatched the phone to call and demand answers. The screen lit with 3 huge letters. Asshole, Hunter calling. Hey, Hunter, you, he cut me off. Voice absolute. Rested? The question ignited me, every muscle screamed, and he asked if I was rested? Hardly. I'm off soon. What do you want me to bring for dinner? He sounded like a whipped puppy, as though I were the wicked stepmother with poison apples. Nothing. I hung up, ignoring whatever face he pulled. I napped fitfully. Something stroked my cheek. I batted it away, but a scalding hand cuffed my wrist. What the? I jackknifed upright. Hunter sat on the bedside sofa. 3 days. Then we get the marriage license. His tone was pure CEO handing down a routine memo. Yet with the whole city gossiping, Hunter's tweet had flipped me from public enemy to envied bride-to-be. I couldn't squeeze the word no out. Fine. I'll marry you, but the kid question happens on my schedule. Of course. It's your body, your call. I jerked my head, shocked that the dog actually produced a pearl of wisdom. Much later, during a tipsless confession, Hunter told me he'd fallen for me the very day he saw me on campus at the start of freshman year, and that surrogate deal had only been a tasteless joke. 3 days later, every Riverdale outlet ringed city. Cameras exploding as Hunter and I stepped out clutching our little red book. It felt like a dream, but my brain instantly replayed Hunter's creative wake-up call that morning. Blood flooded my cheeks. Caldwell looks radiant. Happiness becomes her, a reporter shouted. All X-rated memories. I thought, of course I'm blushing. 10 years on, Little's 5th birthday. After blowing out the candles, Grandma asked what wish he'd made. Little lifted those big fawn eyes. I want a little sister. I already asked Daddy, and he said it's doable. So I hope she comes soon so we can eat cake together. The room erupted. I turned crimson. Hunter slid an arm around me. Voice low, you heard the air. My duty as a father. We'll get started tonight. Jerk. I shoved him. He only held me tighter. The end, sponsored by Frost Moon Shorts. This file is for preview only. Do not distribute.